These are my thoughts on Volume 4, Chapter 7, Punished. We start off with good old Farm Boy. I know that his name is Oscar, but he will forever be called Farm Boy. And he is the man with two souls. So Ozpin is trying to convince him that he's not a schizophrenic, or whatever mental conditions may apply. And he of course doesn't believe him. It was a very straightforward kind of scene. Ozpin is just trying to prove his metaphysical existence. I do hope that Ozpin gets out of Oscar in whatever way. Because I do like Oscar, but I kind of want him to be his own character. I don't exactly want a mix, kind of like the Doc and O'Malley situation in Red vs. Blue. But nonetheless, it was a very interesting scene that will play out eventually. We then go to Weiss and Jacques. Weiss is upset with everything that is happening. Jacques is upset with Weiss. Weiss says that he's dragging the Schnee family name through the mud. And then... boy, I'm sure that triggered a bunch of people. Oh, I don't like Jacques. What a piece of shit. He's my least favorite character. I've talked about him in a video, which you should watch. But here's a TLDR. He's an authoritarian parent who focuses heavily on punishment as an instructional method. What Jacques is trying to do is build Weiss's extrinsic motivation, the desire to do something to avoid punishment. If Weiss is worried that every time she does something that he doesn't like, he punishes her, then Weiss won't do those actions. But it's a very flawed method. It's like training a dog, except you're not doing it on a dog, you're trying to do that on a human. Do something I like, you get a reward. Do something I don't like, you get punished. He's trying to train Weiss into doing what he deems right and wrong, instead of letting Weiss decide it for herself. Alright, moving on from that. Jacques also does this thing. He drops his accent. I don't know if he's pretending to have an accent, or if that's just like his serious voice. Like I said, I don't know, it was just weird. Also, something that was shocking to me was Weiss's reaction when she got slapped. She looked distraught. Usually that's a reaction when you get slapped by a parent that you love. I don't believe this is the first time Jacques has hit Weiss. If it is, that is very shocking. But to me it seemed as though Weiss should have been expecting that. Also, I mean, you can kind of see it coming. You could tell that Weiss was getting a little too up in his face. And to be honest, I thought it would be more of a closed fist kind of hit. But luckily, that didn't happen this time. So Jacques also revokes Weiss's right to the Schnee Dust Company? Is that how that works? Just word to mouth? Is Jacques just gonna go in front of everyone and say, oh, my daughter Weiss, she passed her right over to the company to her brother. And everyone's just gonna be like, yeah, okay, I believe it. Is that how that works? Okay. Whitley, you gotta admire the kid. He's got gusto. He's got his mind on one thing, and he's doing it. He's still a dick though. Then the fight. God damn, Vic's got a cool voice. I do like that during the fight it was similar to what we saw between Crow and Winter, and that's when two truly skilled fighters go against each other. They're nearly too fast for the untrained eye. But here's something I wasn't too fond of during the fight. Crow's punches. I felt like it was trying too hard to be cool in that specific moment. If he would have started the fight with a punch, it probably wouldn't have taken me out of the moment as much. It just seemed like, oh, his fists are better than his weapon. Why would he use a weapon? But that was followed by a moment that I really did like, which is the unconventionalness of weapons. I feel as though that's been one of the lackluster parts of fights ever since Monty's passing and Shane left. What I'm talking about is when they use their weapon for an unintended purpose. Yang could shotgun someone in the face, but instead she fires it at a wall and elbows him instead. Crow does that by throwing his sword in the direction he's going to slow him down. I feel in most case scenarios they would have simply stabbed it into the ground until they stopped. But instead it was an unconventional use that I hope they do more often. And then Crow gets scratched. Those scorpions, man, they love to scratch. They totally don't just stab you with the tail. And Stinger gets cut off. Amateur move, Tyrion. I thought you were better than that. Tyrion runs away, and Crow is almost definitely poisoned. And everyone questions him. No medical attention needed. This was a pretty good episode. I feel like I've said that every time, so I'm just gonna say that for the rest as well. I do hope they do more of that unconventionalness of weapons. What did you think of it? Did you enjoy it? What didn't you like? Let me know in the comments below. Subscribe if you're interested in more content like this, and I'll see you in the next video.